Speaker is going to be Cindy Reinhard. She's going to be speaking to us about the Madison County Historical Society and some other historical things that we got going on around here. If everybody could just give her a warm welcome, I'd appreciate it.
Hello, and thank you for having me back. As she said, my name is Cindy Reinhard. I'm a local historian, and I'm on the board of the Madison County Historical Society. In the fall, many of the historic based organizations have events that they hope the public will attend so that they can learn more about our history. So let me just start with Voices of Our Past. This is an event that they're having at Woodlawn Cemetery. They've been doing this for several years now, and they have costume docents at different graves throughout the cemetery, and a guide will lead you through the cemetery, and you can learn more about some of the people that are buried there. If you haven't been to Woodlawn Cemetery, it's a beautiful cemetery founded in 1871 with a unique history all of its own. On October 3rd through the 5th, the Historical Society is hosting the Living History Days, and this is about the 5th year that we've had that. There's a poster in the back and a QR code, so you can take a picture of it and get the whole schedule. But we have things like a quilt show at St. Andrew's Church. There are blues and jazz music at the Wildey Theater. The Yonda Log Cabin has their annual Cabin Day on that Saturday, the 4th. The Stevenson House has special activities going on outside, so that even if you don't pay to go in the house, you can go to these outside activities and visit the kitchen. The Children's Museum has the same thing, where you would still need to pay to go into the museum, but they're having outdoor activities and you can visit the nickel plate station. That in itself is an interesting building if you've never been inside. And of course it is right there. So also on Saturday, the Edwardsville Book Fair is at the library. The Historical Society participates in that too. After all, it's one of our oldest forms of recreation. On Sunday, there's a Chautauqua. There will be music. There are impersonators. General U.S. Grant will be there, as well as the Edwardsville's first librarian, Sarah Coventry. Variety of different musical groups. There's also a Civil War encampment, horses and everything. So if you've got kids, or even if you don't have kids, I went to see their encampment a few years ago, and it's really fascinating, where they show you what kinds of things they would have eaten and how they followed the women, how they followed the troops to help take care of them. On October 8th, the Historical Society is having a reception for Katie Stewart and Jay Hoffman to thank them for funds that they have made available to the Historical Society. They're not really doing a formal announcement of that yet, but let's just say the museum is going to be able to start doing permanent exhibits in the building, probably before the end of the year. On October 19th is Leclaire Park Fest, and I'm sure many of you have attended that in the past. It's always on the 3rd Sunday in November, or in October, and this is the 33rd year. There are 4 bands. There's festival food, probably none of it good for you, but that's that's what we like, right? Lots of vendors, lots of information. There's a narrated trolley tour. There are exhibits, all to tell you about the history of the unique Leclaire neighborhood. Those of you that are not familiar, Leclaire, which includes this building, was founded in 1890 as a separate village and did not become a part of Edwardsville until 1934. So that's why the neighborhood is on the National Register. And then we also have, and I'm going through this kind of quickly because I know we're a little short for time today, but we have Dining in History. That's the Historical Society's annual dinner. We always dine in a historic place and talk about that historic place. And they have a wonderful speaker this year. It's me. What can I say? But I'm gonna be giving, I've often talked about the history of Leclaire, but in this case, I'm gonna be talking about those people that came here, the immigrant families that came, how these families then sent their sons and daughters off to war when they were called upon to do so. There's some humorous anecdotes. There's also one chronicle of a murder in Leclaire, even though Leclaire was very proud of the fact that they had very little crime and didn't need a police force. Every once in a while, there was an event that draws our attention. So anyway, that will be on November 2nd. But I'd like to just remind you that you can find history everywhere. I mean, we are sitting in history here. When you think about the architect that designed these buildings with the arched windows, they open up, the clear stories up above that could open up to create a flow of air in the summer, and in the wintertime, they had pipes running under the floors to heat the floors. That was cutting edge in 1890. So you're sitting in some of that history right now. I've started doing for the Madison County Historical Society's Facebook page. I've started doing field trips and going out to places in Madison County that are either historic businesses or businesses that are in historic places. And it's just fascinating what you can find if you go look for it. So I encourage you to do the same. By the way, my most recent visit was to Diamond Mineral Springs. It's a restaurant that has been in continuous service since 1892. It's out of Grand Fork. Some of you may know it as Chicken Shit Hill. There used to be a chicken farm next to it, and so the locals all know it, and the waiters and waitresses have it on their shirts. But they serve a family style meal that is just, I mean, my husband and I came home with 7 containers of leftovers. We ate for 3 days. But anyway, it's a wonderful place and full of history. The same way with our library. If you go up to the archival library up on North Main Street, whether you're curious about your house or maybe your business building, or maybe, you know, just a place down the street. We had someone stop in the other day and ask about the Edwardsville airport. There's probably not many of you that remember that. Maybe a few. There also used to be a railroad station on St. Louis Street in downtown Edwardsville. And that's been gone for a very long time too, but there again, you could read about that in the most recent MCHS newsletter. So I want to encourage you to look for the history, come to us to find the history. Our website has got a lot of it on there, including schedules for all of these things that I just talked about. And I also have a table set up in the back where you can pick things up and take some samples of newsletters and that sort of thing. Does anyone have any questions about the events coming up? Yes.
I can't read. Where was the airport?
It was out, it was east of town.
Yeah, it was section of 143, just north of the intersection of 143 Interstate 55. There was fun.
Right, I knew it was 143, but I didn't know what intersection.
I'm sorry.
Were the adult stories to me?
Everybody, yeah.
You saved the fire.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yes, they had the Edwardsville Air Service. And it was just during the late 40s, early 50s. Any other questions? Yes.
Not a question, comment. The newsletter that you guys put out, the always great, is a lot of things and it's history about Craig County, you know.
Thank you so much. I'm the editor. Yes,
So the good thing is when people are interested, they go to your website.
and just join the society. You'll get, yeah, you'll get 6 a year.
Yeah.
We have some of our old ones on the website.
Okay.
But we need a new website to make it easier to put them up. So if anyone would like to volunteer to build a new website. Yes.
Oh, no, never mind, sorry.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, train station.
It was on St. Louis Street, just not across from the courthouse, but a block west of there. And it was a Wabash station. A lot of people know about the Wabash station that was on the north end of town, north of Henry Street. But this one was gone sooner than the other Wabash station. And of course, the one out here was in Cloverleaf before it became the Nickel Plate.
Would have been about where the pizza place is.
On St. Louis Street?
And like
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know of a pizza place on St. Louis Street. This is where, you know, St. Louis Street breaks off at Busey Bank.
there.
It goes to Main Street. It's in that stretch. Along there. Yeah, that issue is all about the Madison County Railroad, which was just an 8-mile stretch of track. But there were so many different problems with that. Well, for one thing, they started to build it and then there was a little thing called the Civil War. So it took quite a while to get it finished. And then it went broke and the town of Edwardsville had bonds that it was supposed to pay back for a railroad that was closed. So you get into legal matters and all kinds of things. Any other questions? I went too quickly? Okay.
Hold on a second here. Give you this.
That's on behalf of the owner and